Welcome to Simply Nerdy. I'm David, and in a rare twist, I will be kicking things off today. Well, we've got everyone here today. We've got Anthony.
Hello.
Steven.
Oh yeah.
Lisa.
Hello.
Dang, it's awesome.
Maybe we should have David do this more often.
I agree.
I better scale it back and do less good. Anyway, today we wanted to talk about our top video games of the year 2022. We figured out all the games that at least two of us have played, two or more of us, and then we scored them. We gave our personal scores, and then we had some statistics done on them. So we haven't seen the results yet, but we're going to review them now and find out what scores, the Simply Nerdy score. Here are the results of the video game survey. Oh. And this is the notes from the statistics that were done. For those games that weren't played by everyone in the survey, I quantified an interest level in the game as if it were a full rating. For example, I equated interest score of 1 as a full rating of 2. And so on. So anyway, the first number will be the average score of those who played the game, and the second number, if applicable, will include the level of interest scores added in.
I want to say credit for the survey goes to David's lovely spouse.
Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Average score from the Simply Nerdy panel is 8.25 out of 10.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That sounds about right. I
think so
gave
too.
it like a 8 out of 10. We didn't actually play it that much, but we have played a lot of the base game and liked it. So
I think
it
my
was
score,
dang good.
I don't quite remember what my score was, but I might have been the one that brought it down because I have to admit that I'm I spent money on this game and we played it twice.
Oh, that's so sad.
We still have time to fix that.
I know. I do have to admit that there were other games that I had not wanted to really be taken off of, so it's sort of my own fault, I guess.
So
Now, I do want to give kind of a bit of a warning / disclaimer here. Some of these games include things that few, if any, of us have beaten, and
that's true.
we still had an opinion on it, so that's taken into consideration. But each of these games were something we enjoyed for the amount of time we spent on it. So, in case you're being like, why are you reviewing these when you didn't finish them? It's like, well, adulting, okay?
That's right. Kids.
We're reviewing how much fun we had, not like a comprehensive review. This is just
there you go.
Is this worth playing, how we felt about it kind of thing. So the next game that we have here is It Takes Two. I'm including this one because it released on Switch this year. I actually didn't play it on Switch myself, but I'm still including it because it released on Switch this year. Mm-hmm. So the average score we gave it, 8.75.
Oh.
So I'll say, I think that this game is very charming and a lot of fun, but it is one of those ones I haven't finished, partially because I want to find somebody to play it with who hasn't already played it through. No offense, Anthony, it's fun to play it with you, but you already know all the solutions to all the puzzles.
I'm sorry.
Feels a little bit like I'm being dragged along.
That's not my fault.
I know.
And I've really enjoyed it as well, except I like to play it with my wife, and that doesn't happen very often, so I haven't gotten very far. But the time I've played with it, I've really enjoyed it. She has as well. It's really fun to hear my wife yelp when certain actions happen. It's pretty fun. We have a good time. I wish we could play it more often.
Yeah, if you can find someone to play it with, it's excellent. It's commitment to you have to play it co-op. It can be a problem as we've seen here, but at the same time, it is, because it's designed with that co-op in mind. It's one of the best.
It's
in that.
fantastic.
Each of you have tasks only you can do. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like I have rarely seen co-op done so well, where each player feels essential and like they have things to do, rather than just like one of them being a satellite to the other.
Exactly. It feels like a team. That's why I love it so much. You're literally a team when you can't do it without the other.
That's why it's called It Takes
Really-
Two. Ha! Anyway.
That's right. I agree with this score.
I wanted to say, once I played It Takes Two, like I understood why it won Game of the Year in 2021 at the Game Awards. So yeah, it's not a perfect game, but it's incredibly creative, and the co-op is just awesome. So
And it's funny.
Yeah, creativity.
It is
I
funny.
mean, the creativity in that game alone is enough reason for it to have won.
now we have one of the best Switch games this year, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Average score for Kirby and the Forgotten Land is 9.
Whoa!
Nice.
9 for those that have played it. We rated it 9, and some of us haven't. So with the second score with interest variable included, it gets 8.25.
Yep, that makes.
Wait, which of us have played it and which of us haven't played it?
We're not going to point it out.
Oh,
We need to shame whoever hasn't.
That's right. Shush.
well, no. I mean, I don't own it, but David let me play some at his house, and I liked that. I don't remember which way I rated it, but
I don't remember where I rated it either, but I don't know if I rated it very high, to be honest. So it might have been me.
Steve.
I really enjoyed my time with the demo. I really enjoyed the demo a lot, but I don't know if I'd drop $60 for it.
Oh, come on.
Oh, okay.
You need to play it a little bit more, Steve.
Here's what I want to say about Kirby and the Forgotten Land. The previous Kirby game on Switch was Kirby Star Allies, and that's a good one for kids, but that's about it. You know, it's Kirby Star Allies was so incredibly easy, and you know, when there's that zero challenge, there's also very little fun to be had. Like after I played that one, I was like, you know, I really wish they'd make like a 3D platformer Kirby game, because I feel like it would fix a lot of the problems I have with the series in general.
And did it?
Think about it. It did. Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's one of those games where, you know, by the time you finish it, you will have no doubts about its greatness.
It's
right.
it's a shockingly excellent game from a series that hasn't had the best track record in that regard. I mean, like, I feel like the Kirby games that stick out to me as having similar quality are Kirby Superstars and Kirby's Epic Yarn.
There you go. That's based.
Yeah. So this one, I feel like almost in some ways raises it to a whole new level. It was an absolutely fantastic game. I was really pleased with it.
Kirby is a yes. We recommend that one. People that have played it, we love it. People that haven't, don't know what they're missing. So
Wow, way to put me out. That's fair.
Here we go, guys.
Here we go.
Next game, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Let's see what the average score is. 10.
Yes.
A perfect 10 from those that have played it.
How can that be? Oh, I was like, how can we have an average of perfect? And then I was like, oh, yes, because the ones that haven't played it haven't played it.
Yep. So all of us that have played it, Anthony's the only one that's beaten it so far, but I'm close. All of us that have played Xenoblade, we've played it enough to know that it deserves like a perfect score. So
Yeah, I'll just hop in with my quick thoughts here. So first of all, in case you're wondering why we haven't done an official review for Xenoblade, well, so I mean, since I'm the only one who's beaten it so far, I'm probably going to be the point guy on that. But also, it's one of those games that I've had to let marinate in my thoughts after experiencing it, and that's really kind of deepened the experience I had. I can't say much without spoilers, but the mix of story, the heartfelt nature of the characters, the absolutely bombastic score and battle system. Like, honestly, I got to the point where I'm like, so my favorite game of all time to this point was Breath of the Wild, right? And I was at first like, no, I think Breath of the Wild's still holding number one spot because, there's things I liked better about it. But after thinking about it for a while, I was like, no, actually, I might have to put Xenoblade up by the slimmest margin. But the meaning the game has taken on as I've let it marinate and think just about all the stuff, it probably is my favorite game ever made. And it's certainly my most played. It's certainly my most played game ever. I have already put over 200 hours in, and I don't think there's any other game, at least in a single playthrough, that I have ever put that much time in.
Dang.
Play it. It is absolute must play.
Look forward to the review. You can probably guess what it is, but watch for it anyway.
So my plan here is I'm going to do kind of a non-spoiler review on just kind of all the different mechanics that make me like it so much. But then I'm going to do a deep dive spoiler cast, basically, to explain why it's gained such a exclusive position in my mind. Anyway, I'm spending too much time
excited
on this,
for that. I'm so excited.
If you're an RPG fan at all, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is it's a must play. And if you're not, it's probably still worth checking out. It is one thing I want to say about it before we move on. It's so unique. There's like 6 main characters, and I love them all. All the main characters are people I like and care about and want to see what happens on their journey. And I haven't seen that done in a lot of games where, there's a lot of RPGs where you have like a party of characters, but a lot of them don't feel like main characters. Almost everybody in Xenoblade Chronicles 3 feels like main character material. And now, having said all these nice things about it, we're ready to see the controversial interest variable score. 9.5.
Hey,
That's actually
well done, Steven.
we all know it's specifically Steven. So
That's me. No, it's because of Anthony's enthusiasm that's gotten me so hyped to try it.
There's a lot of us who are like, this game deserved every reward it was nominated for at the Game Awards. Mm-hmm. Although, what the heck? How did they miss Best Narrative? Oh my gosh. Worst thing to come out of the Game Awards. Anyway.
All right. Next, we have Pokemon Legends Arceus, one of the early Switch releases this year. Our average score, 8.66.
Hey, solid.
I thought that was such a fantastic game, and it's probably, to this day, the most accessible Pokemon game that they've ever made. You can catch a Pokemon.
Successful?
You can catch a Pokemon just to catch a Pokemon. You can battle a Pokemon to catch a Pokemon. You can sneak up on a Pokemon to catch a Pokemon. There's so many options that there's never a problem with more options.
And that's why I'm so sad about Violet and Scarlet. But anyway, I will say I am not a Pokemon fan. I view most of the games as just too grindy for my tastes. But this one came along and showed me the vision of the magic of Pokemon that so many people experience each time a game comes out. And I thought it was fantastic. I'm pretty sure I gave it a 9. I haven't beaten it yet, but I thought it was the right direction. And I certainly hope that even if they're kind of stepping away from that with the latest release, that maybe they'll continue a spin-off series, because
please, I will buy every one of them if they're like that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I agree. I haven't played a lot of Pokemon games myself. I've only played Sword Shield and then this one. And Arceus was, for me, like has been said, a step in the right direction for me. So I enjoyed it.
To the interest.
But the interest variable puts it at an 8.5.
That's a very small drop. That's nice.
It was, yeah. I'm impressed. Yes. Sweet. Thanks, Lisa.
Hey.
It'll be interesting, Lisa, for you to, since you haven't played Arceus yet, if you do end up playing Violet, kind of you can compare them yourself side by side.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I should do that.
I love
Give
doing
your
that.
impressions of the two. Yeah.
So I let me qualify my 8.5 there. I am quite interested in playing it. It's just not like a rabid, I want to play it right this instant interest, so I didn't choose 5.
Yeah. That's fair.
That's why it's 8.5. I chose a 4. Anyway.
I think that's a fair number. That's a fair number for the game. So next, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, released this year. Our average Simply Nerdy score is 8.66 also. Must have
Nice.
been
Wow.
that.
And with interest?
And with interest, 7.5. So that was a significant drop. That means there's probably some people that have no interest in playing it.
It is a Lego game still, but I will argue that it is a more polished Lego game than they've done in the past. And they've made some pretty significant improvements to the way the blasters work and the sabers. You can actually do combos with the lightsabers, and it was great. I had a great time with it.
I have to admit that the Lego games have, I'm going to say, don't be offended, I'm going to say this way,
Hot take.
a surprising amount of quality. And they are also surprisingly fun. Like, I always enjoy them when I sit down. Okay, maybe not always, but I often enjoy them when I sit down to play them. But it's not like a game where I'm like, oh man, I want to buy Lego whatever and sit down and play it. so
Yeah.
that's yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that. That's probably why I haven't played very many of the Lego games before this year. But this one, like
But
Steven
your
said,
kids love them.
yes, that's the one thing. We finally bought some for our kids, and they played them like crazy this year. We ended up buying quite a few Lego games because they're very good co-op games as well. So co-op games, just in general, or if it was like kids wanting to play together or parents playing with their kids, the Lego games, the series in general is really good. And then I agree with Steven. The Skywalker Saga is even higher quality than usual for the series. So it is good.
Absolutely.
I enjoyed what I played of it. I just usually play it with my wife, and the thing is, it tends to put her asleep, so we don't get far.
likes it, but
So now we know
It's
her
nice and
review.
relaxing. That's what it is.
No, she really likes the Lego games more than I do. She just somehow, they're also very soporific for her. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on.
Moving on next, Mario Strikers Battle League. The average score is 7.
That's
7. And with interest included for people who didn't play it, 4.5.
Whoa! I don't know about that. Okay, guys, calm down. Anthony, Lisa. I'm just kidding.
No, probably more me.
Wait,
I
so
will say-
which one? Sorry.
This is for
I got
Mario
distracted for a
Strikers
sec.
Battle League.
Oh, yeah. yeah.
Here's the problem
I'm very
with-
uninterested.
Exactly. See, this is the problem with Battle League is the stages. There's not a lot of stages. Nintendo and their stages. Like, come on. The stages are, whatever you want to call them.
I'm on board.
Whatever you want to call them. There's like 3. I don't remember the actual number off the top of my head. I haven't played in a while, but no, as far as gameplay mechanics, like the game works just as well as it did when Anthony and I were playing the one on GameCube. Oh my gosh, we played the heck out of that first game, and we loved it, and I have so many fun memories playing that game. And it still maneuvers the same with major improvements to the gameplay and the style especially. The style is incredible. I love how it plays off the original artwork. The only issue is stages, arenas, whatever you want to call them. Like, there's not enough.
Yeah.
And
There's so
at
many-
launch, it was such a small character roster at launch. Like,
Yeah.
it was,
And
I don't know, it's like an afterthought. Anyway.
They're slowly adding more characters over
Yes, they
time,
are.
but even recently they released 2 more characters, I think, or they're about to.
Yes, they did.
But here's what I'll say. I played it a bit. I never played the original, and
Whoa.
I know that the original is like a cult classic for people. You know, Mario Strikers, people that were just like, when are we gonna ever get a sequel to this? So, yes, my disclaimer is that I'm not a big sports video game player in general, and I know this is a twist on just a normal sports game, but So what I did play was pretty fun, but it's one I would probably only want to play with people. So that's why I haven't played it more, because I don't have enough people interested in playing it with me. So yes, I'm sorry the score isn't higher, Steve. I know you did like this one.
I did like it, but yeah, like I said, I think it deserves what it got.
All right, well then let's move on to our next one. Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, buddy.
Average score 9.
Yeah, that's good.
With interest?
And with interest 8.5.
That's pretty reasonable with me. I agree with both of those scores. That game was incredible. It definitely built upon the foundation of the first in incredible ways, especially in combat. The combat was definitely improved over the first, with the ability to do combat. Sure. Anthony might not agree with me. What was that?
Yeah, I'm the one who played it.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, yeah, you can actually have combos now and different upgrades for those combos, and the skill tree was great. I enjoyed it. The only complaint I had with the Forbidden West is how short the story was. I felt like it was a lot shorter than that first one. But that was it. Like everything else, I loved it.
Anthony made it sound like you can do side quest purgatory, though.
Yes, you can.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. I gave this game a score of 9 because I thought it was an exceptionally well-made game with a very interesting continuation to the plot they'd set up in the first game.
Oh yes, incredible.
I think that Aloy is an awesome character who I think is a very excellent example of respectful female representation in gaming. I think she's just really cool and really well developed. So lots of things I really enjoy. I thought the combat was a lot better. I liked the world. But there's too much to do.
There's a lot to do if you really want to get into the weeds. It's bad.
I'm one of those people where when I see a map telling me, hey, there's an interesting thing here, and there's icons littered all over, I'll explore it all. And I think the moment that broke me was when I combed through the first area and then looked at the rest of the map, and I'm like, whoa, that was like 1/10 of the entire game. And I remember, and I'm also one of those people where it's like, oh, I've got to listen to every line of dialogue. They made voice recordings. I might miss something important until finally I was just like, I just sat through a conversation that was literally a half hour long. I am no longer going to listen to any of the optional dialogues. I'm sorry. So it was an excellent game. The stuff that I really cared to engage in once the game broke me was fantastic. But that game also has a crap ton of fluff. So take that for what it's worth. Excellent game.
There's a lot to do, but the to do might be fluff.
Yeah.
Okay, but fluff isn't always bad. You could just ignore it. I actually am kind of excited about it.
I have a problem with fluff because I'm one of those people where I'm a completionist, and that when a game breaks me from completionism, that it's done something pretty exceptional. Anyway.
Yeah. And I personally haven't played either of the Horizon games. I have to admit that I brought the interest rating down a little bit.
Wow,
just
Dave.
because it feels like too much of a commitment at this point. 2 games, and I've heard from Anthony and others how much fluff and padding there is, and I can only commit to so many games like that. So, but next we have Elden Ring, the game of the year, 2022. An average score of 8.
Whoa! I'm actually kind of surprised.
Yeah, from those.
And interest?
And with interest, 8.
Oh, the first time we've had the same score for both.
I could have sworn I gave that game a 9, so that's a little surprising to me.
I think I gave it an 8. This is my first Dark Souls-ish type game. And I still haven't beat it because I can't beat it alone. I need Anthony and my other buddy playing with me, or I can't progress at all because I just suck. But I still really enjoy it. I love playing it with my friends. Alone, it's miserable and frustrating sometimes.
Yeah, here's what I'll say for Elden Ring. So, I mean, I think it's been made clear that my personal game of the year was definitely Xenoblade Chronicles 3, but I think that Elden Ring, for all that there's a part of me that feels like it's overrated, but it really is an excellent game. You know, and 9 is not something I give out lightly. And, you know, at its best, you know, one of the things that I remember was one of the highlights of the game was when I realized that the exploration was giving me the same sense of wonder and satisfaction that I got from Breath of the Wild. And that was the primary reason that Breath of the Wild was, you know, held so highly in my regard. So from that perspective, Elden Ring, you know, really checked a lot of really good boxes. There's just, I think the thing that kind of ruined it to some degree for me was I've played Dark Souls games in the past, and I felt like that this was a Dark Souls game where, I mean, in a post-Sekiro world, here's how I'll put it. It felt like the bosses were designed with Sekiro mobility in mind, but we were downgraded back to Dark Souls mobility, and it felt stupid sometimes. There were times when I'm like, this is just stupid now. It's, you know, I have to not only know this pattern extremely well, but, you know, fight with the camera to make sure that I dodge the right way. Looking at you, Melania, with your stupid waterfall dance. I learned how to dodge it, but the problem is the camera can kill it. The camera sometimes will just do its own thing, and suddenly you're dodging into it instead of out of it, and that means you're dead immediately. So, anyway,
Anthony, you still have to fight this boss one more time when I fight it.
Well, okay,
because I can't beat it without you. You gotta be there. You gotta do it one more time.
For a while, I was being inspired by Just Let Me Solo Her. For those of you who know that, you know, an excellent player who can solo Melania, but I couldn't do it. I got pretty far, and then finally, I'm just like, no, this isn't fun. I'm going to go level up one of my really powerful spirits, and you know, the funny thing is, oh man. Plus, okay, let's just say that boss gave those of us who like to play with shields a major, like, middle finger. because okay, so she heals when you hit your shield. Well, okay, you know, shields are worthless then. They're actually a liability. I was so upset. Anyway, I'm going on and on. It's a fantastic game, very well made. I thought that the setting was amazing. I do have issues with people holding its narrative so highly, but I think it's an excellent game for the ages. I just have some also some significant complaints with certain aspects of it, but it's worth playing.
Yeah, I finally bought it, but I haven't played it yet, and I'll have to. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see. But moving on for now, the next game. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge.
Ooh.
The average score for those that played it was 9.5.
Yep.
That's excellent.
Dang good score.
And with interest, 7.75.
What? Lisa, that's you, isn't it? No, just kidding.
I'm pretty sure these went too high.
I mean, what can I say?
Just the opening animation and the song is so good, and then the original voice actors being there from the '80s cartoon. Oh, it was so nostalgic. It was so awesome, and it just felt so good to be playing a Turtles game again.
I don't love arcade type games.
Well, let's just say then that it's clear that low score is thanks to Lisa entirely.
Yes.
I think
Yes,
I gave
it
this
is.
an interest rating of at least 4, if not 5, because I grew up loving that stuff. So
Yeah, Lisa, haven't you admitted to me once that you don't have like nostalgia for the Turtles games? You didn't play some of the original.
Well,
okay, that's fair.
I mean, I did play that one that we had for Super Nintendo, but
Turtles in Time.
That was a good one.
It was it was the one that was arcade style, and you walk into the area and you fight ninjas and street thugs, and then you walk to the next area and you fight ninjas and street thugs.
Well,
And Anthony always had to be Leonardo. Stephen always had to be Raphael. And so then who did that leave me with? Donatello or Michelangelo? Do you think I liked either of those? No. I wanted somebody with something sharp. Anyway.
It was incredible. Get it. You can play online, offline, 4 people. 4 people. Like either way,
Six
online
people,
or offline.
Steve.
6 people on the Switch.
Wait,
You're right.
really?
You're right. 6 people on the Switch.
Yeah,
Can it
6
be
player.
local?
Yes.
I think so. Or online.
Okay, but how can that be
Huh?
when there are only 4 turtles?
Well,
You
because
get
they have
Master Splinter and you got April.
Splinter.
And Casey
April
Jones.
and Splinter.
Casey
Well,
Jones.
that just bumped this game up on my backlog timeline significantly. I'm looking for co-op games. I didn't realize it was that many.
On the Switch, yes. I bought this game twice. On the Switch
Nice.
and PlayStation. PlayStation, though, you can only play with 4, obviously. Switch, you can play with 6. So I was like, all right, I need both.
There you go.
Yes.
Nice.
Finally, our last one that we're talking about is Splatoon 3. Our average score, 9 for those that have played it. And with interest variable, 7.
That makes sense.
I'm
not
gonna blame.
surprised.
I'm gonna blame David for that 7 because I think I put a 4.
Ooh.
Oh, of
So
interest.
that would have been translating to an 8.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I have to admit
So
that
David.
I have Splatoon 2 sitting on my shelf, and I haven't played it. So, so I dragged this one down. I feel like before I ever play Splatoon 3, I need to play Splatoon 2 that I already own. So.
No.
They don't.
You really don't.
I disagree.
Because, okay, here's what I'll say for Splatoon 3. I know a lot of people knock it because it doesn't necessarily have that next big new thing, at least yet. There is DLC coming, but I think the reason why I would rank Splatoon 3 so highly, and I'm generally usually with David in terms of, not loving a respawn the game experience. But I just feel like Splatoon 3 just took all of the systems that had been established in the first 2 and just, made them just as polished as they could. And also, this is an opinion from a person who is a noob at this game, but probably my favorite thing, the number one thing that makes me this my favorite game in the franchise is that respawning is far kinder now. You're not sitting there for literally 30 seconds out of 3 minutes watching people gloat over your clothes sinking into the the ink. Anyway, it was basically not only respawn the game, but trigger the game, because I'd be sitting there like, I'm going to destroy everything you hold dear.
Triggered respawn.
And they just one-shot me, Anyway, Splatoon 3 has it's like 5 seconds, so before I can get to rage point, I'm like, oh, cool, I can jump back in and, try again. This all sounds very silly, but I think it's, for several reasons, the best game in the series. Oh, also, Salmon Run, Egg Throw. Game changer.
Yep. Salmon Run is significantly improved, and I love the big boss salmonid that comes out every now and then.
Yeah.
You have to throw the golden eggs at him to do damage to him and fight bosses at the same time, and it gets so crazy that I die, and it's so much fun. On top of what Anthony's already said, they've significantly polished the experience of Splatoon in this game, and that is why if you watched our impressions for the game, I have not put out a review yet just because I'm still working on the single player campaign. But the overall experience has been so polished and so easy to just jump into battle and be with the people you want to be with and battle with people who you want to battle with, instead of, it was such a nightmare trying to get together with friends on Splatoon 1 and 2. And then if you were paired with your friends, you were on opposite teams sometimes at random, and randomly you'd be on the same team, and it was just so frustrating. And then same thing with Salmon Run. I guess not same thing. You'd be able to join them on Salmon Run, but Salmon Run was locked behind certain times of the day, and that was awful. But Splatoon 3 is available all the time. Thank heavens. Anyway, the thing that Anthony and I said in the impressions video is it doesn't need a new mode to be great. It's already leagues ahead of the previous 2 games.
Just simply because of all of the unnecessary limitations existent in the first 2 games that they just removed and polished and made better. I know a lot of people have complained about the matchmaking speed in the game. That has not been my experience. So I don't know what's going on there, but I feel like, matchmaking in terms of being able to play with friends, and in my experience, the speed of getting into a round, it's been very satisfactory. So
nice.
I still suck at the game, but I like it.
But you don't need to play the previous 2, David, to enjoy it.
No.
All right. I will say
yourself to it if you do.
Yes, you will.
You'll be pleased. You'll be pleased to hear that this conversation, I feel like it deserves an 8 interest rating now.
Okay, good. All right.
I'm going to bump it up a little bit because the things you've described would make it a lot better for me. So
perfect.
So that's all the games that we've played with the Simply Nerdy panel, and so I have here are the official rankings based on those scores. Our top. Well, should I start from the bottom? Our number 11, I think, game is Mario Strikers. Mm-hmm. Next is Elden Ring. So these are the scores only based on. These are the scores based only on people who have played the game. So
okay.
Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. 8th is Pokemon Legends Arceus. 7th is Lego Star Wars. 6th is It Takes Two. 5th is Kirby and the Forgotten Land. 4th is Horizon Forbidden West. 3rd is Splatoon 3. 2nd is Shredder's Revenge. And number 1 is Xenoblade.
Yeah, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked about number 1, but number 2.
All right. Lisa's hating again.
We all know it now. Yes, I'm going to be kicked off the island.
Lisa, maybe the interest rankings will fix it for you.
This is nice. Yeah.
So,
okay.
So let's look how things get shuffled around based on interest for those that haven't played it. Mario Strikers is still in last place, at number 11. 10 is Splatoon 3.
No.
9 is Lego Star Wars. 8 is Shredder's Revenge. That sounds like what Lisa wants to see.
No.
Where was I? 7 is Elden Ring. 6 is Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. 5 is Kirby and the Forgotten Land. That stayed about the same. 4 is Pokemon Legends Arceus. 3 is Horizon Forbidden West.
Nice.
2 is It Takes Two, and what a surprise! Number 1 is Xenoblade.
Hey, that's pretty dang good list, guys.
Yeah.
Solid.
I'm actually surprised at how much it shuffled it.
Yeah, me too. Either way, these are Simply Nerdy's top games of 2022. I think that there's something for everyone here, and a lot of these games are worth playing.
What do you think of these games? Let us know down in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video. It always helps us out.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Is there any hot takes that you feel like one of the games should have been higher?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
Even in the discussion of this video, some of those interest ones would have shuffled around because like I said, Splatoon 3 I'm going to put slightly higher, and Anthony said he'd put Shredder's Revenge higher based on what he discovered. So
well, I mean, I already put my interest ranking super high. It's just the limitation is my backlog. So
yeah,
I'll just up my backlog. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's our top list of video games for 2022. Everyone, thank you for joining us. We hope that you enjoyed this list, and we'd love to hear your opinions about your top games and what you think of what we
Of art. Yeah.
If you disagree with any of our hot takes, we're sorry, and please let us down nicely. But these are all opinions anyway. So
Until next time, everyone.
Keep it nerdy.